Classroom is here for you. It helps you in all you do. It helps you know you do. So tune in and now enjoy the fun. It's time for English, everyone. Studio Classroom is on the air. You can watch it everywhere. English is the way to go. So join us now, enjoy the show.
Hello there and welcome to Studio Classroom. We're very happy that you are joining us here today. My name is Gabe.
And I'm Anne-Marie. Thanks for joining us, friends. Today, as usual, is a great day to learn something new.
It certainly is, so let's do that together. Friends, our lesson is when you smoke, you play with fire. So as you can guess, our lesson is going to be all about smoking and the dangers of smoking and things like that. We have some new information that maybe you haven't heard before, but it is good to review anyway. But part of that title is Play with Fire. Now, I know what it means to literally play with fire. That means you have a fire in front of you and you're doing something kind of dangerous with it, or it could be dangerous. What does it mean to play with fire?
Well, the idea of playing with fire is that you are making light of or messing around with something that is actually pretty dangerous. You're playing with it, but you shouldn't be. Just like fire is dangerous, you shouldn't play with fire.
That's right. So there are many things in life that are kind of dangerous to do, and if you smoke, well, according to our title, you are playing with fire. It's kind of taking a foolish risk. We have a lot to learn, so let's get right into the first reading for the day.
When you smoke, you play with fire. Smoking is anything but harmless. Tobacco use and its negative impacts on health have been well documented for decades. Traditional tobacco products, such as cigarettes, have been linked to a wide range of health problems, including cancer, heart disease, respiratory disorders, and stroke. According to a survey by Health Promotion Administration, 78.3% of smokers start smoking before age 20.
Hey everyone, welcome to Language Lab. I'm Jack. 我们先来看 well documented 这个形容词，意思呢是有大量档案记载的。譬如 The war in Eastern Europe has been well documented by a reporter from the Seattle Times. 这位西雅图时报的记者对东欧的战争进行了详细的记录。如果单独来看 document 这个字，若是当动词的话呢，意思是记录或是记载。譬如The manager of the post office must document when packages arrive and are sent out. 这位邮局的经理必须记录包裹何时到达和寄出。Document 也可以当名词，意思呢是文件。譬如 What documents are needed to get married here? 在这里结婚需要哪些文件呢？
Thank you so much, Jack. So when you smoke, you play with fire, and then our text says smoking is anything but harmless. Now, anything but and then an adjective is kind of a fun way of saying that it's not that adjective at all. It could be anything else, but it's not that adjective. Smoking could be a lot of different things. Some people might think it's fun. Maybe for some people it's a good way to hang out with other people, but it is not harmless.
That's right. I like that you said that, Gabe, that you can switch out the phrase anything but for the word not. Here's another example. Going to the dentist is anything but fun. That means going to the dentist is not fun.
Or maybe you thought a camp was very exciting. So you could say the camp was anything but boring, right? Think of another way to use that phrase. We read, tobacco use and its negative impacts on health have been well documented for decades. Traditional tobacco products, such as cigarettes, have been linked to a wide range of health problems. When you see that phrase, something is linked to something else, that means it's connected in some way, perhaps one even caused the other.
Here's an example. The outbreak of illness has been linked to contaminated food. People ate bad food, and that's why so many people were getting sick. Well, we read on here, tobacco usage has been linked to a wide range of health problems, including cancer, heart disease, respiratory disorders, and stroke. Now, when we see that word respiratory, it has to do with your lungs. For example, a common respiratory disease is asthma.
That's right. So anything related to breathing with your body, of course, that is talking about your respiratory functions. Or respiration is the process of breathing. So there are respiratory disorders that are linked to smoking or to tobacco products. According to a survey by Health Promotion Administration, 78.3% of smokers start smoking before age 20. Perhaps this is due to peer pressure or something else. Well, we do have more to learn right after today's Info Cloud.
Welcome to InfoCloud, everyone. Hey, Campbell, I've been wondering about something. Are perceptions and beliefs the same thing?
Not really. Perceptions and beliefs are different, but related. Perception is how we understand or see things with our senses. We perceive things by seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or feeling.
For example, if you see a ball, you know it's a ball because you perceive its round shape and color with your eyes.
That's right. Beliefs, on the other hand, are the thoughts or ideas we have about things that can be hard to perceive. Beliefs come from our experiences, things people tell us, and what we learn.
So sometimes one's beliefs might not be true or correct.
That's true, but perceptions aren't always correct either.
Yeah. For example, you might meet a person and have the perception that they are scary, but when you get to know them, you might find they are actually friendly and kind.
That's a great example, Rex. It also shows why perceptions and beliefs are related. Our perceptions give us experiences that can become beliefs, and sometimes people make mistakes.
Do you perceive that people make mistakes or believe it?
Both. Sometimes people have different perceptions of the same thing. Other times, perceptions are the same, but beliefs are different.
That's true. I guess the ways we perceive things and the beliefs we have can change as we learn and grow.
Exactly. It's important to keep an open mind and get more information before making strong beliefs based only on our perceptions.
同一件事情，每个人的观点跟看法都可能不一样。今天要跟大家讨论 perception 跟 belief 之间的差别。Perception 是观点和看法 ，belief 是信念。Perception 跟我们感官的体验有关，我们的视觉、听觉、嗅觉、味觉和感觉会形成我们对一件事情的看法。例如 You know that's a ball because you perceive its shape and color. 你知道那是一颗球，因为你看到它的形状和颜色。Believe 信念是从我们得到的资讯、经验和学习到的事情所形成的。它是一种比较深层的想法和理念。通常 believe 是从我们对事情的 perception 所形成的。这就是今天的 Info Cloud， 我们下次云端见。
When you smoke, you play with fire. Taiwan has raised the legal smoking age to 20 or above, aligning with the policies of countries such as the United States, Singapore, and Japan. By instituting this change, they hope to reduce the number of young people taking up the habit. Despite being marketed as a safe alternative to traditional cigarettes, heated tobacco products, HTPs, are still considered tobacco. As such, they pose significant dangers to human health. The heating process used in these products releases harmful chemicals and toxins, including tar, carbon monoxide, and nicotine, a highly addictive substance.
接下来看 align 这个动词，意思是与什么一致或排成一线。譬如 The planets aligned themselves in a rare event, creating a spectacle in the night sky. 这些行星罕见地排成一直线，在夜空中形成一道奇观。Align 也有对准或调整的意思，譬如 The team worked together to align their goals to make sure they were all going in the same direction. 这个团队齐心协力对准目标，确保他们朝着同一方向前进。或者是 The couple went to therapy to align their attitudes and improve their communication skills. 这对夫妇去接受治疗，以调整他们的态度，并改善他们的沟通技巧。再来看 toxin 这个名词，意思呢是毒素。譬如 Eating seafood from that pond will likely introduce toxins into your body and make you quite ill. 吃那个池塘里的海鲜，很可能会让毒素进入你的身体，让你生病。或是 The cleaning product contained harsh toxins that required proper handling by those using it. 该清洁产品含有刺激性毒素，使用人员必须妥善处理。再看一句 The polluted river contained high levels of toxins, killing the fish and making it unsafe to drink. 这条受到污染的河流含有大量的毒素，导致鱼类死亡，饮用也不安全。
Thank you very much, Jack. Well, we read here Taiwan has raised the legal smoking age to 20 or above, aligning with the policies of countries such as the United States, Singapore, and Japan. By instituting this change, now let's take a look at that word, institute here. Here it means to establish, or to cause a system or policy or rules or something like that to exist.
Here's an example. By instituting new traffic policies, the government can help keep pedestrians safe. So the government is putting these policies into practice. They are setting them up so that they have the desired result.
Right. So by instituting this change regarding smoking, they hope to reduce the number of young people taking up the habit. Now, take up is a great phrase for you to know. It's a phrasal verb that we can use when talking about habits or hobbies or anything that you start to do in your life. That's what it means to take up a habit. You are starting that habit, something you didn't have before.
That's right. And as we see in our article here, this phrase can be used in a negative way or in a positive way, because habits, of course, can be good or bad. For example, I've been thinking of taking up the habit of stretching every morning before I go to work.
Well, that's a great habit to take up. Are there any habits that you want to take up, or perhaps a new hobby that you would like to take up, friends? Well, we read on here, despite being marketed as a safe alternative to traditional cigarettes, heated tobacco products, or HTPs, are still considered tobacco. There are alternatives to cigarettes, and perhaps you know of e-cigarettes, also known as vaping, when people smoke e-cigarettes or things like that. But heated tobacco products, or HTPs, are a little bit different, okay? E-cigarettes only contain nicotine, but heated tobacco products do contain tobacco. The tobacco is just not heated to the point of burning, but it still contains tobacco.
All right, and we see here, as such, they pose significant dangers to human health. The heating process used in these products releases harmful chemicals and toxins, including tar, carbon monoxide, and nicotine, a highly addictive substance. Well, we have more to learn in just a moment, right after today's fun fact.
Hello, fact friends. I am Detective Ernest Finder, and I have a fun fact for you today. Haha! Did you know that quitting smoking can make you sleep better? Ha, it's true. Sometimes our sleep is restful, and sometimes our sleep is not. Since nicotine in the cigarettes and vaping keeps you up, your body will be able to rest better when you quit. You can do it! You can quit, and it will be fun. Think of all the sleep you will enjoy. Nap time for me. But that is today's fun fact.
When you smoke, you play with fire. HTPs are packaged to appeal to young people who perceive them as safer than smoking. To prevent young people from experimenting with HTPs and impacting their health, Taiwan strictly controls every kind of tobacco product by adding a health risk assessment review mechanism. Only products that pass the review process are allowed to be manufactured, imported, and sold to consumers.
最后来看 mechanism 这个名词，它的意思是体制或是机制。譬如 What mechanism is in place for people in your company to be promoted? 贵公司有什么晋升的机制吗？或是 A person's natural defense mechanism should help them fight off infections. 人体的天然防御机制应该能够对抗感染。Mechanism 也指机械装置，譬如It will take a specialist to fix the clock mechanism because it is extremely complicated. 由于时钟的机械装置非常复杂，所以需要专业人员来修理。
Thank you very much, Jack. Well, we read here HTPs, that is short for heated tobacco products. So HTPs are packaged to appeal to young people who perceive them as safer than smoking. So kind of, as we talked about in the previous section, this is kind of a marketing thing that they are doing, right? They're helping young people to see it as a good alternative to smoking actual cigarettes. So that's why we see the word perceive here, because when you perceive something as something else, that's kind of the way that you view it or see it or feel about it.
Yeah, for example, maybe you're a teacher and you perceive that your students aren't really interested in what you have to say, but the truth is they're just tired. That means your perception may be a little off.
Perception really is everything, and especially when it comes to marketing, perception is so important. In actuality, something could be this way, but if everybody else sees it as the other way or another way, then that's really important, and that could affect your marketing and your plans, right? So perception, or the way that people perceive things, really does mean a lot.
It sure does. We read on here, to prevent young people from experimenting with HTPs and impacting their health, Taiwan strictly controls every kind of tobacco product by adding a health risk assessment review mechanism.
All right, well, what does it mean to assess something? This is to evaluate the nature or the quality of something. So assess is the verb, and of course here we see the noun form assessment. So there's a health risk assessment review mechanism. We read only products that pass the review process are allowed to be manufactured. And of course, Anne-Marie, manufacture is another word for...
Yeah, to make something.
That's right, to make or produce a product of some kind. So imported and sold to consumers. Well, we do have more that we'd like to talk about right after we hear what you say.
What you said.
It is time to hear what you said. If you're not following us on Instagram yet, make sure to do so. We are sc.hosts. What questions did we have there?
Well, the first questions we asked our followers was, do you think it's wrong to smoke? Well, 89% of you said that yes, you actually think it is wrong to smoke.
Okay, what opinions do you have about smoking? It hurts your body and your wallet. Yes, it can be harmful to your body, as well as it does cost quite a bit to have the habit of smoking.
That's right. Some other answers we got were in high school, it felt cool to smoke, but some people said, smoking pollutes the air. Someone else said, it's a personal choice. If you want to smoke, you can. If you don't want to smoke, don't. But just don't bother me.
Yeah, it's fine as long as you're not bothering anybody else or affecting anybody else. Somebody else said it's possible to quit smoking after 10 years. One of our students did that. We do get stories like that every now and then. People just decide to quit smoking and they're successful.
That's right. So here's another great question. What advice do you have for someone who wants to quit smoking? You guys had a lot of great ideas. Someone said try reducing the amount first instead of just going cold turkey.
Going cold turkey is a really hard thing to do. So this is, I think, is good advice. Well, someone else said have someone you're afraid of tell you to quit. Basically, someone you're afraid of, or maybe it also means that you really admire and respect, and so you want to try to do things to please that person. Maybe having them tell you to quit will get you to really quit.
Yeah, another thing you could do is ask for help from your friends. Do something to distract yourself, like chewing gum. Well, friends, this has been What You Said. Make sure you are following us on sc.host to hear more next time.
All right, friends, it is time for a quiz, so close that magazine and fill in the blank. Let's see if you can remember the word that is needed to complete this phrasal verb, okay? Here it is. The government hopes to reduce the number of young people taking blank the habit. Here are your options: taking on, taking by, taking up, or taking in the habit.
I believe the correct answer would be to take up the habit.
Well, you are correct, Anne-Marie. So, of course, the government is trying to do something to prevent more young people from taking up this destructive habit of smoking. And of course, today we learned that it's not only smoking cigarettes that is harmful to your health, it is other things like other heated tobacco products, or even e-cigarettes and vaping can be detrimental.
That's right. Well, friends, we have more to learn when it comes to this topic. Make sure you come back and join us. We'll see you next time right here on Studio Classroom.
Friend endures at all times. A good friend lasts a lifetime. I am so proud to have you in my life. A good friend lasts a lifetime.